Hey guys, so today I'm going to be giving you 13 tips and tricks I learned while going through sorority recruitment. So check it out! So, number 1. I know this will be said to you a lot. The girls that are recruiting are just as, if not more, nervous than you are. I know that's probably a weird thing to think, but they are so focused on not only trying to find good girls that they think will fit in their sorority, but also like they want you to be where you belong and where you should be happy, and so they're trying to find that for you. Tip number 2. I think that it is a good thing to make friends with the girls that are going through recruitment with you. Finding girls that just seem cool or girls that are in your group walking around with you, it is like a good idea. I know some people that found their best friends in sorority recruitment, like in their recruitment groups. And I met some really awesome girls, and some of those girls actually ended up even being in my sorority. And even if I didn't know them like super well during recruitment, it was really cool on bid day and other like events early on to have a familiar face around. Tip number 3. Even though I know you want to look super cute, and I know you should, and you should feel amazing, you want to be comfortable. I know some amazing dresses are not going to be comfortable to walk around in or just to be in for hours while trying to talk to these girls and all this stuff. And it's like, yeah, you may look super cute, but being uncomfortable, then you're just going to be thinking about that the whole time, and you may not be thinking about the stuff you should be talking about or just other things, and you're going to want to be comfortable so that you feel confident and you are able to talk to the girls in the sororities and learn about their sorority and figure out if that's the place you want to be. Okay, so these next few tips, I'm going to be telling you some things that you should keep in your purse or your bag that you're carrying around with you. So these are just some things that will help you out in the process. So tip number 4. Keep mints, not gum. So you're probably going to want to be like eating something or chewing gum to like keep your breath fresh, you know, since you're going to be talking to so many girls. But if you're talking to someone and you're chewing on gum, like that is not going to look good on you, and like what if you like spit it out or something when you're talking, like that'd be gross. So mints are the better option because you can just pop them really quick, eat it. There you go. You can go to like any store, buy some Tic Tacs or something. That's the way to go. Tip number 5. Keep deodorant or body spray or something like that in your bag, because even though my school didn't do this, many schools have it where you're walking outside from chapter to chapter or house to house. And because of that, you're going to be sweaty, you're going to be gross. It's still August or early September when this is going on for most schools. And, so yeah, you're gonna need some deodorant, you're gonna need to be reapplying that, and body spray is also a good way to go, even though I would say use both, you know, like stop the sweating and then, just to get you to smell nice. The next thing is a rain jacket or poncho or something you can fold up and put in your purse would be a really good idea. I know one of my friends going through recruitment, it actually ended up raining while she's trying to walk house to house and stuff like that, and the thing is, don't stress about that too much. Like honestly, I know you're gonna be like, oh no, my hair and all this stuff, but you gotta remember every other girl is going through that same thing, and the girls aren't gonna judge you on that, but you know, you'll probably feel a bit better if you're not drenched or something like that. So I think keeping a raincoat on you would definitely be a good idea. Another thing that's good is extra shoes. So for those girls that are walking from house to house, if you're in huge heels, you're probably not going to be comfortable. So maybe keeping some shoes to walk from house to house in that are a lot more comfortable would be good, you know. Throw in just some jandals or something like that. Or maybe another pair of like cute, nice sandals that say maybe if your shoe breaks, you'll be able to put them on. And speaking of shoe breaking, tip number 8 is maybe some tape. Because during one of, I can't remember what day it was, but I was wearing cute sandals, and one of my sandals actually ended up breaking during recruitment, and that sucked, and I didn't have any tape or any other extra shoes on me. And so even though so extra shoes would be a good idea, or maybe just some tape or glue or something like that so that you can fix your shoe really quick. Tip number 9 is the blotting papers. You know those little like They're little like blotting things. I don't know exactly what they're called. I used other people's. I didn't have my own. They're those things you can dab on your face and it will get the oil off your face without taking your makeup off. Those are a good idea, especially if you're going to be sweating, like I said. And then so now, back to some other tips and tricks, not in the purse anymore. One thing you need to remember, you really need to remember, and I mentioned this in tip number 1, is that these girls want you to be happy. They really, really do. So, like, for me, there was a few sororities that I really, really loved, and I was like, oh, I would love to be in these ones, but I got cut from some of those, and that really made me sad, and I was really sad about that. But what I learned is that sometimes sororities will cut you not because they don't like you and not because they don't want you, but because they know, they're like, oh, this girl will be so good in this house. They know, like, oh, she fits in so well with the Gamma Phi's, and she has their morals and all this kind of stuff, so we're going to cut her, not because we don't like her, but because we know that's the place she needs to be. So if you get cut by some of your favorites, or if you get cut by all of them except one your first day, don't stress, don't be upset. It could mean, hey, you've already found the place you want to go. You don't have to make a tough decision or something like that, you know? Okay, so tip number 11. You may not love the one you're in at first. I'm not going to lie, bid day and stuff like that, I was not pumped for Gamma Phi. It wasn't my top choice, and I was a little bummed. But after I got there, went through bid day and went through the first few weeks and everything and learning and meeting all these girls, I absolutely fell in love with it. And I've talked to so many girls in other sororities and other schools that have gone through the same thing. You may not immediately fall in love with it like some girls do during recruitment. It's okay if that happens. Don't be too stressed about it. It'll all work out the way it's supposed to. So, at my school, Texas State, we do it a little different. Our houses are spread out very widely across San Marcos, and it would just be too crazy to try and get from house to house. And so what they do is they go to a hotel in San Marcos and rent out a bunch of ballrooms. I don't know any other schools that do something like this, but there very well could be. You know, some schools don't have houses at all for their sororities, so this could be the way they do it. I'm not sure, but this is just from my experience. So we would sit in these ballrooms all day. They would take our phones. We weren't allowed to talk about recruitment. It was pretty crazy. And so some things that I would recommend is definitely bringing some things with you to do. I brought a book. I read a whole book in like one day. I brought some coloring books. I talked to the girls, made friends like I said. You know, you can sleep. There's a lot of things to do, but definitely bring some things to entertain you since they take your phone away. And tip number 13, last but not least, if you are in a situation like mine, bring some like sweats and a jacket. And you know, this really applies to girls that are outside too, if maybe it just gets cool or something like that. It got so freezing cold in those ballrooms, and bringing blankets, sweats to put on, and jackets over your dress, it really was a lifesaver. Okay guys, so those are my 13 tips and tricks for sorority recruitment. I really hope they helped you out. I wish I could tell you to put your questions below in the comments and I could answer them for you, but I am not allowed to talk to potential new members, so yeah, that kind of sucks. But I hope you have a good recruitment experience, and I hope you find your home. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. From coast to coast, we'll proudly boast